would like to be in the year coming up, 2022. So it's nice to see where to focus on. And it says here, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, because you cannot do it alone. We need help, you know? So we pray about it, we believe, and believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. According to Mark 11:24, right? I believe in that. And I always recite this in my head, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not a one-woman show. It's not a one-person show. You need help from someone above who can actually orchestrate everything. And that's what happened with us. Everything seems to be orchestrated 9 years ago when, we heard about Greatway, when we took the opportunity, becoming a student, and all of a sudden now earning 7-figure income in Greatway. And the law of attraction, you become what you think about. So be careful what you think about. Don't think about what you don't want to be, because that's what you're going to attract. So, I don't think I'm going to be SVP. So if you say that, you will attract it. So at least say what you want, because you will attract. So remember what they say, whatever you think is right. Whether you can or you cannot do it, it's right. So which one would you choose? Okay? So if you think it's easy, it's easy. If you think it's hard, right? And here, when you actually do your dream boards, and many of you have done that already, it's not just in financial, it's not just, right? It is everything. Business, mental, love, health, personal. It's nice to actually do that and think about, what am I going to do the year 2022? Will this be a breakthrough for me, right? And the key to success is to start before you are ready. Some people, they say, okay, I'll start only when I do this. When I have many people, that's when I'm going to start dreaming. No, you start now. Do not start the day without ending it. So I always start the day with the end in mind. What am I going to accomplish today? What am I going to accomplish at the end of the year? I know already, so that my body will follow, right? So let's just, see. So when you do dream boards already, and some of you have done that already, but some of you are still making them, please make sure that it is clear, it can be measured, and with a deadline. So some people would say, I'd like to make enough money. What's enough? Is it 2,000, 5,000, 10,000? It has to be with numbers, okay? And why? You need it. It can be measured, okay? And at the same time, with a deadline, some people say, okay, I'd like to pass. When? I'd like to become SVP. When? Because if you say pass, it's been 1 year, right? So you have to have a deadline. And I've seen it with so many people that they want to pass. They're students, they want to pass, but without deadline. That's why I always have that practice every time I come here. I always shake their hands and I always give a deadline. And they get scared of me because I give them deadline. I said, trust me. I know you'll thank me 6 months to a year from now. And many of you have thanked me already, right? Because I shook your hands. And I gave you deadline. And many of you are licensed now. And many of you are 6-figure income earners now. So because you took the challenge, okay? So it says here, write them down. Attach good feelings. So when you're actually cutting it, imagining it, right? Experience those feelings, okay? Clarity. You attract it. Draw or cut pictures, imagine, and be happy when you're doing it. And third is you have to take action. Many people, they cut pictures, they imagine themselves, but they lack action. They just wait for it to happen. It's not going to do that, right? It's not going to go on your lap. You've got to take action. And here in Greatway, because I believe that Greatway is really the vehicle to achieve your dream faster. It's not the only vehicle, but I believe that is, for me, it's my vehicle to achieve my dream faster. For 33 years I've been in Canada, I've never seen an opportunity in Canada that can change people's lives in less than a year. I've seen it in Greatway. I've seen the transformation of people in 6 months to a year. For people that wants to buy a house, wants to pay for debts. I could see it here. In 6 months, they paid all their debts. In 1 year, they bought a house. In BC, in Toronto, can you imagine that? So it happened. So here in Greatway, we follow Greatway system. It's such an easy and simple system, but many people still don't follow it. They reinvent the wheel. They think it's too easy, right? But if you follow it from point A to point B, trust me, you will get there. We've seen it. And attend all trainings, right? Because you learn from everybody, and at the same time, you get inspired by different, some of us are only one story away from success. Because many of us don't believe in ourselves, and all of a sudden you attend this, and then someone will be speaking here, and then that's your story, right? And you show up and have a good attitude. Have a, what do you call that? Coachability. Be coachable. Because here, there are many mentors. What do you mean by mentors? These are people who have achieved something that you want to achieve. They have done that already. They have experienced it. And what we do is just to teach you that, or to actually share it to you. We don't force you to do it. We just share to you what we've done. And if you follow it, exactly the same. We pave the way for everyone. If we can do it, anyone can do it. Okay? So, I want to share with you our first few dream boards in Greatway. 2017. That's mine. Remember, we always have separate ones, but this is mine. I'm just training this, that's why I got mine. So 2017, I always have different dreams for myself. And of course, we'd always like to retire comfortably. I was in the dental field before. And thinking about it, if I didn't find Greatway, maybe I'll be working till I'm 55 to 60 years old, because that's the norm. And that's that's what everybody was dreaming about. To retire early is probably 55, right? But retire comfortably, like to buy a bigger house with swimming pool and all that, but we live in Saskatchewan, guys. So even if for us to buy a swimming pool, maybe it's not going to be really practical because we only have 2 months of summer, right? So you guys are so lucky. But I've always wanted that. May it be in Saskatchewan, may it be in California, who knows, right? And of course, to be healthy, like to buy apartment buildings, that's a dream, yeah? And they said when you dream, it has to be scary. It has to scare you, makes you uncomfortable, and that's what we did. So here, I always like to have a conversion van, okay? And I put it here, 50,000 override a month. This time, it was shooting for the moon. Why? Because our override before was only 20,000 a month. So if it's 20,000, to think about 50,000, that's too big. It scared me. But I put it there because I want to attract it. 50,000 in there, override a month, and of course, happy family, and then we travel. And I've always liked this kind of car with the, what's that? Goldwing? Yeah. So, is this the Mercedes-Benz? But I just put it there, okay? That's a goal. That's shooting for the moon. It's too big, okay? But look at what happened in 2017. This was a dream. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, of course, be the best advisor. And what I always think about it, if I'm the best advisor, what does that mean? Does that mean that you're the biggest AGA? I said it couldn't be because I'm only one leg of another AGA. Another person that invited me, I'm only one leg of that. How can I be the biggest? And Hector said, no, the best advisor means that you're the biggest and most productive AGA, meaning your team is productive. So that's the goal, because during this time we were so new, right? But look at what happened, okay? 2017, our override was only 22,000. Do you think 50,000 is too big if you're only making 22,000 a month of override? Yeah, that's big, right? And remember, override is passive income, is given to you. So for us, we'd like to have the passive income. So that's October 2017. December 2018, it became 47. Now, are we attracting that? It's getting closer, right? But don't change the goal, you can change the time. Sometimes I go for it for 2017, it didn't happen. I'm not disappointed because my body will follow, and soon enough, what happened? In 2019, it became 66,000 in 1 month. Is that amazing?
Yes.
So we attracted that. It happened in Greatway. And apartment building is not a very big apartment building, but it's a good start. We bought an apartment building in 2018. We attracted that. And at the same time, we became the best advisor during that time. We became executive vice chairman and was given Tesla for free.
Wow.
So is that a good thing? It's not Mercedes-Benz, it's Tesla, but it's paid for. 150,000 was given to us to buy Tesla. So we attracted that. Remember, it was 2017. This is 2018 and 2019 for Tesla. It's still good, right? Okay. So now let's have a look. 2018, we start doing dream boards again. So now, what did we do here? It says here, I was in the dental field. I always like to have medical dental. I always like to participated that, but before when I was working, I was thinking, when can I do it? I have to work, so I really couldn't do it. So I could always put it there, okay? And at the same time, I put it here, $1 million, okay? It's shooting for the moon, right? Because I wasn't even close to $1 million during this time. But remember, you have to be scared when you put it there, you know? Put something that you'll be scared about, okay? Your body will follow. What's next? Oh, let's have a look there. Okay, so that's what happened. During this time, it's all the travels, all the, happy family, creating memories. It's always going to be like that in Greatway, though, because of the trips. But in 2018, to even go for $1 million is too big because we're only $500,000 earner during that year. 500,000 in 1 year for us. So, do you think 1 million is big to even think about during that time? Yeah, you're shooting for the moon, right? So, at that point, and then I participated in medical dental mission. Is that good? Can you imagine? Because you focused on it, then now you achieve it. It's 2019, it's not 2018, but I'm happy. It happened, okay? And now, so remember, I was only $500,000 earner, so I didn't reach it. Did I get frustrated and depressed? No, I put it here again, okay? I put 1 million here again. Remember, you can only change the time, but do not change the goal. The goal is still the same. So I put it there still. So what did I have? We said we're going to be executive vice chairman. For us to put executive vice chairman, that means you need 7 senior vice presidents underneath you. During this time, in 2019, we only had 3 SVPs underneath us. So for us to have extra 4 more, that's shooting for the moon, okay? But we put it there because we believe that we will be one day, okay? Now what else? We put $1 million, and it says here, our rewards in life will be in exact proportion to our contribution, which is our service. The bigger the service, the bigger the reward. So we know we are going to reach this someday, okay? But look, in 2019, okay? Our rewards in life, exactly the same, but Greatway's first executive vice chairman, Carolyn Hector, if they can do it, you can do it too. So we actually reached it, right? So it didn't happen right away, but we attracted it, we believed that it happened, and it happened. And we became executive vice chairman. And during this time, we didn't hit the $1 million. Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm not gonna complain about the 700,000 in 1 year, right? It's still good, but our goal is still 1 million. So we still want to see that 7-figure income there. But in 2020, we were awarded $1.1 million in 1 year. What happened? Can you imagine that? You know, who would have known that when we first joined Greatway, thinking that we were just going to do it part-time? We said, extra $3,000, that's pretty good. So we did it. What if I earned $5,000 extra? And all of a sudden now, it's $1.1 million in 1 year. Is that a dream come true? Yes. So it all starts with seeing it in your mind. You've got to see it before you even start. And that's what happened with us. Okay? Now, 2020. Okay? We always travel anyways because with Greatway, they give it to you for free. You're the one that will say no because there's so many of them. Like even this year coming up, we have Caribbean, we have Mediterranean, we have Hawaii, we have Disney Cruise. What else do we have? Maui again. And what else are we planning? There's so many, almost every month. So you're the one, because before, we told Kuya Marlon, maybe we'll pass this year. Because we memorized already what Rome looked like. Every year we go back to Rome. Every year we kind of memorize where's the rocks here. I know where it is exactly. Because every year we go to Europe. Because here in Greatway, you are rewarded with the work that you do. And what's good about it, it's not just by yourself. You actually take your family with you, so you create memories together. Yeah? And not just that, not just our family, whole Greatway family. That's why we become friends, right? Our kids became friends too. So here, we always want to travel. We said, one day, I wanted to actually fly first class. We know we can. But the only thing is, I'm a very practical person. Every time I see the cost of it, it's almost like a 3 or 4 tickets going to the Philippines. So I can probably pay for someone 4 tickets already for one business class, right? But I said one day I don't want to look at the price. I just want to buy it and not worry about it. So I just still put it there. Why not, right? And I said, I like to build big business and my team to grow. Okay, always be like that. So here, what happened is we always go for senior executive vice chairman. I put it here, July 20. It could be July 21 or July 2021. Could be, right? It's 2020. Okay? So let's have a look. We became senior executive vice chairman this 2021. So it happened. And to become senior executive vice chairman, you need 14 SVPs underneath you. 14. 14 leaders like you to duplicate yourself. That seems to be shooting for the moon. It was impossible at that point. But it happened. So we traveled in Europe with the family, okay? We have done that. And at the same time, we grew our team from small group to now we took them to Caribbean cruise. There's so many of them. But what I like about it is now we flew first class. So it's actually in there. So now we're always going to go. We said, once you try it, you never want to go back to regular, right? So now, I always tell my husband, Hector, when you buy it, please don't show me how much it is. Just pay for it and let's go. I don't want to see the receipt, right? But it's fun. You want to reward yourself, and not just that. Even my dad, we take them. We took him with us in first class as well. So it's pretty good. And at the same time, now this was during convention where we have 900. 900 people are not here, but now under our hierarchy, there's about 900 advisors underneath us. Can you imagine that? From one person who believed in it 9 years ago. Now, there's probably more than 900 now, but 6 months ago it was close to 900 people, advisors underneath us. Amazing? So just think about it, guys. If you're just starting now, you're only starting now, but think of it 5 years, 10 years from now. See how big it's gonna be. When your intentions are pure and sincere, you will always attract the right person, the right opportunity. Always. So always have the purest intention of helping people. Don't think about the money will follow. It's always like that. Okay? So how to make this year your year? Are you excited about 2022?
Yes!
What are you expecting in 2022? That's okay to actually dream about more money, because it's not the money itself, but what it can do. Remember? It's either what you expect, that's what you achieve, right? So what are you expecting in 2022? I will share, this is my takeaway. It's a very short presentation, but I just want to actually share with you what are my takeaways for 2022 coming up here. Okay. Many of the people that succeeded, and we have seen or witnessed transformation here in Greatway, because we started with one. Remember, we have now so many SVPs, and some of you are here, right? Congratulations to all of you. We have seen the transformation from the start, when we actually just shared to you the IRP, and when we start meeting here and you just transfer to Greatway. It's almost like impossible just to see where you are now. We thought it's going to be impossible because Greatway was so small during that time. We were, our meetings were in, what hotel was that? It was an old hotel. It smelled musky, and it's kind of, I was embarrassed to invite people actually during that time. I'm like, is this where we're gonna have the presentation? That was our first presentation, and my first invite, who was it? It was Roslyn and Martin. I was so embarrassed, I invited them in that basement of a hotel. But that was shooting for the moon. We thought, if this actually helped us, I believe that, financial education is for everyone. I believe that the information is so valuable, many people will see the value in it. And true enough, there's 3,600 advisors now in Greatway. Can you imagine that? I was the 160th advisor when I first joined in 2012. Now there's 3,600 and growing. Okay, so what we've seen with them is this. They all decided. So many of you, and all of us probably have decided, that's why you guys are here, right? You decided, you joined Greatway, you became a student, you signed up, you took the plan. That's a decision, and that's good. Congratulations to all of you. Because many times, that one decision can make a big change in your life. And that's what happened with Hector and I. One small decision, we said yes to Greatway, and it totally changed our lives. We're now all retired. We're 20 years ahead of retirement, and at the same time, we are helping more people, and we're doing what we passionately love to do. And that's the best thing. Not having an alarm clock, and not worried about finances. When you think about it, I always tell to Hector, we're talking about it, we said, some people tell us, do you always think about money? And we say, to tell you the truth, we never think about money. Why? Because we always know that we have enough. We always know that there's something in there, in the bank, that always pays for the bills, always pays for everything. So now I believe that people think about money when they're lacking it. True?
Yeah.
Because when you don't have enough, you always think, how am I going to make more money? I wish there's more money in my bank account. Now you look at your bank account 15th and 30th of the month, right? Because you're worried. But if you always have enough there, you never even have to look at your bank account. Is that good? Yeah. Would you like to experience that?
Yes.
Would you like to experience not even worrying about is it the 15th or the 30th of the month?
Yes.
Greatway. Greatway is the way. It happened to so many of us, not just us, to so many of you here. Because we have decided at one point. So, when you decide, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Many of us too, we said, oh, how I wish we said yes 5 years ago. Well, it's too late. It's 5 years ago. But you're here now though. What can today do to you? What can it do to you? So you have to really write or picture a new ending for you. And one choice changes everything. Yeah? So 9 years ago when it was offered to us, it took me 3 weeks to pass the exam. Only 3 weeks from enrollment to 3 weeks past the provincial exam and got licensed in April 2012. And the rest is history. By just sharing what we know, The money followed. The first month we made $49,000. The first 6 months we made $220,000 part-time. So now we totally attest to it that it is true. All the people that we shared it to love the idea of growing money and accessing it tax-free someday. Right? So, you decided. Have you decided?
Yes.
Yeah? Have you decided that life will be different? 2022.
Yes.
Remember, if you don't change anything now, where would you be in the next 5 years?
The same.
Okay. That's the meaning of insanity, right? You keep on doing exactly the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It won't change. You've got to decide first, and then change something. Okay? Now, second, what they have done is they committed. They decided, then they commit. So many of you have done your G board, right? You decided this is what I'm going to do. Then you committed to it. But when you commit, you really have to see it happen. It's not like you commit only when things are favorable. Oh, when everything's going well. And all of a sudden you experience challenges, then, oh no, this is not for me. Then you quit. And I've seen that happen. Many people excited today. 1 week after, they're not here anymore because they encountered some challenges. They invite their friends, all of a sudden they're all no's. Their family even say no to them, right? And it's part of life, So once you commit, it doesn't matter if it's favorable, unfavorable, you have to commit. Shake hands on it. Hector and I will always shake hands, and we always believe that we can achieve more, we can be more, we can give more, okay? So what is it all about? What's your why? The bigger the why, the easier the how. How am I going to finish it? How am I going to squeeze it in my tight schedule? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? The how will follow if you know your why. And your why has to be big. It's big enough that it makes you cry. If it doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. What's your why? Why have you joined Greatway? Is it just 2,500 or 3,000? That's too shallow, not the 3,000. Why do you need the 3,000? Also that I can give away some of my days at work so I can spend more time with my family. Why do you want to spend more time with your family? Then you have to actually answer and question yourself 7 times. Why? When it's that deep, I tell you, you commit. You will never ever quit because your why is big enough. But if your why is only, so that I can earn extra income, so that I can make $3,000, that's too shallow. You'll quit next week. It's so easy, right? But you have to know what your why is. Is it your family? Is it See, it says here, wealth is not about having a lot of money. Agree? But it is all about having a lot of options. As what Kuya Marlon have said before, if you don't have a choice, you are in big trouble. Oh, I want to do it, but I don't have a choice. I've got to work. Oh, I want to do this, but I have to do this. You have to, then that means you don't have a choice. You're in big trouble. If I give you an option, then you're in a dilemma. Should I do this? Should I do that? At least you have an option. That's good. You have a choice. Okay? But if I provide to you many options, would you agree that you're free? Yes. You actually have freedom. You can now choose what you want to do. And that's what happened with us. And to so many of you here. Greatway became that channel of blessing to us. And it has given us more options. And we totally became free. Okay? Now, would you agree that you like to help people? Yes. Now, how can you help if you yourself need help? Right? So first, you help yourself, and when you have more, you can give more. Right? And true enough, like, a lot of times you said, okay, I'll pray for you. Now, it's good to pray for someone, but is it okay to pray and give at the same time? Yeah, it's more powerful that way. So yeah, you become more powerful and effective if you help them through that. And also, before that, I like to do this. Would you like to pay your bills? Yes. This is stressful every time you see your bills piling up, right? And this consumes many people. Every day, every month, they think about it. And for us, we actually change how we see it. Our bills actually piled up this much every month, almost like that. And before we always, oh my goodness, even though you don't look for expense, it's always coming. But then now every time Hector sees it every month, he says this, Lord, thank you so much for the blessing, because now we have resources to pay for the bills. Instead of, so many bills. Instead of getting upset with the bills, just be thankful that you have the resources to pay for the bills. Then you see it differently, right? Okay? Now, do you want to spend more family time? Yes. Who doesn't want that? I remember before when we joined Greatway, I worked 10 hours a day. And I come home, my kids were only 5 and 7 years old. So when I come home, they want to play with me. I felt so tired, I want to lay down on the couch and watch TV. Right? And what kind of life would that be if that every day will be like that? So we always hope for something better, that we can spend more time with our family. And here at Greatway, you can spend, at first, of course, you've got to train, you've got to do something extra, to be extraordinary, right? And that's okay. The reward's amazing. The rewards always outweighs the sacrifice. Always. So don't worry about the sacrifice, because the rewards will be more, right? And at the same time, would you like to travel the world? Yes? Greatway makes that happen, okay? And at the same time, be your own boss. We have our own whys. No one can judge us what our whys are, okay? So be honest. And be honest to yourself and think, what is really my why? And the bigger the why, the easier the house, okay? So when you feel like quitting, remember why you started. That always kept us going. And in our first years here, there were times that we'd like to quit. There were times that we'd like to, okay, maybe we should just relax and not go for more. But we always know our why. And Hector and I will always talk about it. We commit to it, we shake hands on it. So every time, sometimes I feel low, then he reminds me of that, then I'm pumped up again, okay? So, and also, look at this. Run when you can. Walk if you have to. Crawl if you must. Just never ever give up. Because when you give up, you'll never ever see how close you are to success. And many people that we've seen here in Greatway for the past 9 years, many people have quit and they never see. Some of them should be making 30,000 a month right now override, but they quit too soon. Always remember this, that when you planted something, there's always going to be rewards or harvests later. But then if you quit too soon, someone will harvest it for you. It's not you, because you quit already, okay? So remember, it doesn't matter how fast, how slow you are, as long as you stay in line, you'll get to the finish line, okay? Like in Tim Hortons, it's long line up. As long as you put your one foot forward, the next one will follow. It doesn't matter how slow or fast you are. At one point, you get to the cashier. You get to the front. But if you left, then you go on the side, and you want to go back again, you're at the back again. So you might as well just stay. Stay in line, and don't compare yourself to anybody. Because we run our own race. We have our own race here. But we're always here to remind you that there's the end. You know, the light at the end of the tunnel. So we cheer for everybody. So after running that one race, then go to the next one. Then go to the next one. But I heard of some people, well, Carol, every time I see someone achieving something, I get so frustrated because now I feel like I'm slow. Right? They compare themselves. That's comparing yourself to someone. Don't do that. Because they're running a different time frame, a different race. So if you know that that one achieved something, always remember and be inspired that if she can do it, one day I'll be on that race and I can do it. But right now, it's not your race. So don't be disappointed. If you're a student right now, what's your race? Pass the exam. That's your race. So don't worry about the other ones achieving SVP. Soon enough, you know, that will be your goal and that will be your race. But right now, your goal is only to pass. Right? But if your goal, you're only new at SVP right away, and then you get disappointed, how come I'm not SVP in 6 months or 1 year? Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And some people, they do it because they're fast, and that's okay. Some people, they get discouraged and then they quit. Okay? So always enjoy each and every journey. No matter how slow it is, how small that journey is, to become CP, to become CFT, that's very small for some people. Like, Kuya Marlon actually asked me one time, shared to someone. Can you imagine with Carol and Hector? They're running for field chairman. What is field chairman? 21 SVPs. 21 senior vice presidents. We have 14 right now. Okay? But for some people, they're only running for SVP. Some people are only running for CFT. And they think that's hard. Can you imagine being a CFT, they think it's hard, or becoming SVP, they think it's hard. What more for us looking for more SVPs? But if you think it's easy, it's easy. But if you think it's hard, it's hard. And we think it's easy, so we always achieve it faster. How come some people it only took us 15 months to become executive vice chairman? That's 7 SVPs. We actually had 8. But that's only 15 months. But for some people, 5 months or 5 years already, still not SVP, because they think it's hard. If you think it's easy, it's easy. So do you think it's easy?
Yes.
For those who are not SVPs yet, do you think it's easy to become SVP?
Yes.
Then if you think it's easy, then it will be easy. Remember, whatever you think is right. Okay? Number 3, you've got to take action. This is the last one. So what? You decide, you commit. Some people, they decide, they commit, but they didn't do action. Then they get disappointed. How come? You told me, Carol, you told me that when I joined Greatway, my life will change. It's been a year. How come my life hasn't changed? Well, did you do the work? No, you didn't show up for office, training. You didn't do what you had to do. Then it's not going to work out. It has to be coupled with taking action. Because any action, you always get a reaction. Always. Activity always beats inactivity. Right? So something, one foot forward, the next one will follow. It doesn't matter how big. Some people, they said, oh, if I have 7 people, that's when I start. Oh, if I'm ready, then I start. No, you have to start before you're even ready. Okay? Because one little action can make that shift in your life. A small change in what you see can lead to a big shift in what you do. So one little thing. So this coming up, 2022, you thought 2022 starts in January 1st. It actually starts now. This is where the momentum starts. Now, not January 1st. Now. The moment you're moving now, the effect of this will be in January. So that's why people are late, because when they decide this is when I'm gonna move, actually you can see the results of that 1 month, 2 months after. So right now, today is the time. Okay? Whatever you want to do, should I contact some people? Should I invite people? You have to start doing it now. Even though people are busy, you've got to start the invitation now and book them for next week, book them for a couple weeks after. Okay? Now, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we'll reap a harvest if we do not give up. So remember, I always say this in our training. Not all the seeds will grow. So always accept that fact already so you don't get hurt. Not all the people that you share to will say yes to you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Because if you expect everybody will say yes to you, then you will be disappointed. You'll be discouraged because it's not the way it is. So not all people will say yes to you. Remember that saying, SW3, what does that mean? Some will, some won't. So what? Next. Okay? So some people, because they expect that it's gonna be a bed of roses when they join Greatway, no. Nothing is easy in life. Do you think working till 65 is easy? No. But we commit to that and we never complain about it. We complain coming home, oh, work is hard. And then we still show up in the next day, right? So life is not easy, okay? But now here at Greatway, it's not gonna be easy. So you've got to really know that what you planted, some of them will grow. So what Kuya Manav said, I remember during the first few months, I was almost ready to quit because I was hearing a lot of negative things about, what I was doing and all this stuff. Some challenges that we have been experiencing, and all of a sudden, Kuya Manav said, you have to focus on your field. Some of the seeds that you planted will grow. Some of them will wither. Some of them will be eaten by birds, and some of them will be blown away by the winds. Okay? But focus on your field. Because if you lose focus on your field, more birds will come and eat it. So the people that say something negative about you, they lost focus on their field already because they focus on you. So look at yourself 2 years, 3 years from now, compare yourself with them. See where you're at. And it's really far, far away. 2 years, 3 years after. So I'm really excited because that 3 years, it's good that we took that advice to heart and we can actually see how far we've been compared to them. So always focus on your field. Do not grow weary in doing good. You know your purpose. That's why you're sharing it. And for us, for 9 years now, we have witnessed, the value of what we do. It's not just the money. That's our reward. But what we do is very noble. Some people who actually, giving the death benefit, giving critical illness protection. We've seen it happen, and we've seen people who has left us, and some with coverage and some without. I can see the difference, night and day difference with their family. And that's why it's our moral obligation to share what we know. Okay? And that means you become unstoppable. When you have this purpose in mind to share, becomes your moral obligation to share, the good news or something that's good, very valuable, then you become unstoppable. I've noticed some people, how come when they need money, that's when they actually start sharing? Okay, when they renovate basement, my basement's renovated now, then they relax. You don't see them in the office anymore. Then all of a sudden they need something again, they show up in the office. Why is that? The momentum is based now, or their motivation is based on their needs. It's not moral obligation. Because if your moral obligation is to share, no matter what, you need the money, you don't need the money, you'll share it because it's very valuable. And that's what with us. Many people have asked us, Carol and Hector, maybe you can retire now. Right? Why? Why are you still doing this? Why are you still inspiring people? You can just stay home and still earn 7-figure income. Why? Because for us, Hector and I, we have made $1 million passive income only this year. Our active income was $110,000. So our active income is very small compared to our passive income. True enough, we can probably retire, but we don't do it. Why? Because we have a bigger purpose. We believe that we can inspire more. We believe that we can encourage you guys and we can show you that it can be done. Okay? That's why we are here, even at this point. Holiday season, and you guys are here too, so congratulations to all of you who showed up. And hopefully we can inspire you here, and this will create a big change in your life. Okay? So, to achieve goals you've never achieved before, you need to start doing things you've never done before. Okay? Are you ready to do that? Yes. Especially this 2022. Are you ready? Yes. Do something you've never done before. Okay? If you keep on doing exactly the same thing, same results. Okay? So, God desires for you to finish well. Agree? Did you know that His dreams is bigger, or dreams for us are bigger than our own dreams for ourselves? He wants us to succeed. He wants us to prosper. So I believe that He has provided that vehicle. And that vehicle is now for you to actually use. It's there in front of you. Greatway is here, and people are here to support you. So hold the vision, drop the excuses, remember your why, swerve around obstacles, and trust the process. There's a process. It's not an overnight thing. Oh, I join now, tomorrow my life will change. No, it takes time. So be patient, okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
But I believe that 2022 will be our breakthrough. Things can change in 2022. We always do that. Hector and I, we always dream for bigger dreams year after. So, on behalf of myself and my husband Hector, thank you so much for having us tonight. It's a very short trip.